you know, when you find something that works and you're happy and it's just perfect, you're happy with everything, you don't have to go shop around anymore. You know, if you have a Mercedes and that's the car you like and you're fortunate enough to be able to have one, then you don't have to go shopping around every time you want a new car. And we feel the same way about Stephen Marshall and Myrna, that he's just, I wouldn't think of using anyone else. I would highly recommend him, and we're just so happy with him. I don't move a picture frame without checking with Stephen, because he has just this unbelievable, and Myrna, this intangible ability to make things look just beautiful and functional.
First of all, Stephen has a phenomenal sense of aesthetic and design, and he's an artist. And so everything he does in kind of an artful way. I don't know, we were looking at, we have talked to a lot of other people and we've seen their design work. And it's always, in my estimation, it's about that person creating a look that can be put in Architectural Digest. It's not about the client. Things look beautiful, but the spaces don't feel right. They don't feel like they're your spaces, because they really aren't. They're spaces from other places. So Stephen would really, he'd try to get a sense, and he knows me really well since we've known each other for a long time. He tried to get a sense of the space and the energy, and he knows me really well, but he didn't know my husband. And so he was trying to understand, like, what are the kinds of things that, like, tell me a little bit about what you like and what you envision to be using the space for. And so he really tried to understand what we wanted.
They really work hard to get to know you, to find out how you live on a day-to-day basis, your likes, your wants, and then they mesh that and make recommendations based on that. So what's nice is everything is tailored really to you and how you want your house to be, and which is wonderful. So it's not like they're going to come in and they're just going to do a design the way they feel should be done. I think the goal is also to make the house warm and livable, and they do such a good job doing that. I mean, in addition to all of the components of our home that we have had them remodel, they've done our office as well. And anybody who walks into our office and everyone on our floor, they say, well, we want this office. It's just beautiful. They listen, they hear, they bring options. They encourage you to kind of find what you like and voice that. And then they help narrow the choices down, which is really good.
Stephen and I have been friends for a long time, so I knew it would be wonderful working with Stephen. And I've always known about Stephen that he's such a dreamer and such a creative soul, but it doesn't overcome practicality. And that wasn't the way it was when he was our music director at church, and it wasn't the way he is as a designer either. He just is, able to be really grounded in the reality of the environment where he is. And so I loved his ideas and his ability to change and be flexible. And like I said, it was a pretty small project, so we didn't have lots and lots of back and forths and whatever it is. And I knew pretty much kind of what my vision was for it. And so, but he, like I say, executed that really well and surprised me with the floor tiles. I was really delighted and surprised to see that.
Stephen's vision is fabulous, and Greg agrees with that as well. He just has such an ability to walk into a space, look at it, listen to what you kind of think you might like, but you're not really sure because you're not a visionary person, and take that vision and work with you to create something really wonderful.
There's no preconceived notion of what anything is going to end up looking like. He just comes in, wanders, and you could see it's just clicking. He's observing everything, he's imagining it, if it was empty, and how can he redesign it to make better use of the space. And he does it beautifully.
The other thing that Stephen was really good about, and I think that's important for me at least, was to make sure that someone can deliver within a time and budget. And what was really great is that Stephen would, first of all, we never missed a deadline. And frankly, sometimes we were given deadlines with not a lot of notice. He'll be like, oh, you know, we need to figure out the paint palette by like this time because the contractor moved this around, and so can you help me? And he would just make time, and we would always hit deadlines.
They're just a delight to work with. They exude calmness in a, it's really scary and daunting when you make the decision to change or remodel, and it's a significant amount of time and money, and you want the end product to be something that you like. We've learned to not rush the process. You need to just let it take its time and play out, and envision what it's going to look like before they actually start doing the work.
Even if you are on a tight budget, the value a designer adds far outweighs the cost of the designer. So it's not as if you are, I'm a CPA, so it's not as if you are spending money and it's costing you something. It's you're transferring an asset, cash, into an asset, real estate, into your home. And so there's no doubt in my mind that the value added that they bring to the table far outweighs what we pay them.
Well, you couldn't go wrong, I don't think, working with those two. They're both such kind people and caring people, and it really comes through in the way that they deal with their clients, both of them. They're just, like I say, they're lovely people. You look at them like family when they're here, and they really understand your family, and you know, neither of them is exactly like our family, and yet they understood what would work for our family. So I really love that about them both.
I love being in my space. It feels like a sanctuary to me, whether it's my bedroom or my living room area, or if I'm working in my kitchen. I just feel good every time I walk into my home, and it feels like mine, and it just fits who I am, and I love it.